Dear friends of CONVOCO, a very warm welcome to all of you to the first CONVOCO 3.0 event here in Berlin. Thank you. I founded CONVOCO 12 years ago. From the outset, the idea behind CONVOCO was to take responsibility today for our world of tomorrow. And the older CONVOCO gets, the more important this mission seems to become. We bring together the world of academia, government, and economics in order to encourage that most elusive of qualities, serendipity, the ability to make unexpected discoveries through the unconventional juxtaposition of people and ideas. CONVOCO deals with topical subjects that change from year to year. This year, the overarching theme is the common good in the 21st century. Lately, it seems that thinking about the common good hasn't been very popular. In a world where nationalism is on the rise and societies are increasingly fractionalized, the idea that we might need a notion of the common good seems to be in retreat. Having said this, however, I would like to suggest that the principle of the common good is essential for our societies. The common good in English, or the bonum commune in Latin, or Gemeinwohl in German, addresses the idea of the general well-being of a society. This definition presupposes a community whose guiding principle is that the common interest, the interest of society as a whole, should generally precede individual interest. While our modern political communities are usually based on territorial thinking, the common good of the polis, or that of the nation-state, we might also see the entire world as the setting of the common good. International cooperation in relation to climate change or infectious diseases are all instances where it is broadly accepted that we have shared interests as a global community of states. We ignore our duties to this global common good at our peril. In some ways, globalization has encouraged greater awareness of our supranational shared interests. In others, it has produced new international entities and business styles that we associate, for example, with Amazon, Airbnb, or Uber. These often understand society as a collection of customers and users. They no longer regard it as a socially entwined community. Today, sometimes it seems that output and profit have become the lowest common denominator of a society. And whether or not this is actually true, the fact that it has become a widespread perception has contributed to the reactions against globalization that we see now from Minnesota to Mecklenburg. Could it be that individual interest and private profit have become the dominant ideology of our globally capitalist world? One does not have to be a Marxist to suggest that we might pay a very high price for moving ever faster in this direction. Some even ask whether a society is capable of knowing what it has in common anymore. As Aristotle famously argued, man is a zoon politikon, a political animal, one who finds his true nature in corporate life of the polis. This has profound implications. The kind of person that a man or woman becomes depends on the social, cultural, and institutional circumstances of his life, not merely on his success or individual prosperity. What then is this common good, or the bonum commune? Essentially, both describe the relationship between the individual and society. The thinking goes back to Plato and Aristotle. Both philosophers shared the idea that the good of the individual and the society are linked together. However, they gave us two approaches as to how to reach this common good. In Plato's formulation, the way to the good of the community is seen as an objective, normative value system. That is, a series of fundamental values held in common by citizens of a state. The bonum commune thus provides directions for guiding behavior and for reproving behaviors that go against these agreed values. The United States Constitution and the German Grundgesetz are examples of such systems of normative values. Plato thus saw the bonum commune as being measured by the abstract good of justice. In this understanding, the common good requires those in power to leave behind personal interest, but also the particular interest of members of society. Both need to be subordinated to the good life of all citizens. The other understanding of the common good is more empirical. It goes back to Aristotle's idea that the common good arises out of social systems, institutions, and environments which work in a manner that benefit all people. It is essentially a series of practical systems to minimize conflict and to allow harmony to prevail. In this conception, the common good, freedom, and self-government can be realized through the active participation of the citizen. This is the idea of the common good that we find in the English legal system known as the common law. Probably the common good needs to do both: to provide practical procedures by which we can thrive as a society, as well as to act as an abstract guiding principle. It is central that we look at both afresh. Because at present, it seems that what we once safely regarded as one society is no longer sure of any shared values, let alone on an international front. It is all too easy to replace the common good with the lowest common denominator of output and financial success. We need to give our society a direction that places the common good back at the center of attention and uses new technologies to do so. Since I first delved into this topic, many things have come to my mind, which I hope to discuss you in the next coming month. For example, what is the relationship between justice and the common good? And how do we deal with the criticism that questions whether it is even possible for a common voice to be constituted? But for today, the big question is, what does AI, artificial intelligence, contribute to the common good? And in what ways might the revolution in AI make it more difficult to maintain a common good? Thank you.